Jeff Bridges é um homem de múltiplos talentos. Ele é músico, pintor, fotógrafo, mas deve seu grande sucesso profissional ao seu trabalho de ator. 3 vezes indicado para o Oscar, Jeff Bridges tem uma impressionante variedade de personagens em sua carreira, do protagonista bonito e sensual ao mais cruel dos assassinos. Ele trabalhou com os maiores diretores de Hollywood, com as mais fascinantes atrizes. E é sobre isso e muito mais que a gente vai conversar hoje. Mesmo gripado e com muita febre, Jeff não perdeu seu bom humor e revelou todas as faces de um ator espetacular. Com vocês, Jeff Bridges. Everybody talks, Jeff, about your choices to play characters. I think it's impossible not to talk. They love, you said that they love them or they think they are weird. And you, what do you think about this?
I'm pretty pleased with my choices, I think. But you know, I'll get a response from people that say, you know, why do you do the things you do? You know, you're a pretty good actor, but man, the choices that you make are terrible. And others say, God, they're great. So I just probably keep on doing what I do.
And what attracts you to a character?
A lot of times I don't know. Usually I don't know, but I'm drawn. I'm kind of pulled for one reason. And often most of my energy is spent in trying to not do it. Trying to figure out a way why I shouldn't do it. And then if it's strong enough, it'll pull me in.
You said that you were attracted to what scares you most.
Mm-hmm.
What scares you?
Yeah, it changes from moment to moment. Right now, what scares me is not figuring out what to say. You know, but it changes from moment to moment.
But is the risk when you choose a character?
Is the risk?
Yeah. Do you like taking risks when you choose a character? You say, maybe this is.
I don't like it, but it's sort of the only game in town, you know. I don't like to take the risk. It's frightening, you know, but that's the only way to get through it is to go and do it, and then you're on the other side of it. Otherwise, that's going to keep coming up and keeping up, and that's the one that you shy away from, and it's going to scare you for the rest of your life. So.
But do you enjoy this kind of fear?
Not all that much. I mean, I kind of, you know, when I get through it, when I pop through it on the other side, then it was a gas, sure, yeah. But when it's going on, at the height of the fear part of it, you kind of make, you know, after you've been frightened for so long, you kind of make friends with those feelings.
And how do you build a character? What is your first approach?
I look, you know, inside myself and find things that are similar to the character, and the other things that aren't alike. And I might have to magnify the things that are similar in myself, and let the other ones, you know,
aside.
Yeah, leave them alone.
Why did you choose to play a psycho, a killer?
Mm-hmm. One big thing was I hadn't done it before, so it was. You know,
You've done.
Oh yeah, well not this. Yeah, you're right. Jagged Edge, I did kill people there, but this guy was was different. I mean, I saw a chance to play a different character. You know, I don't think if you put the Jagged Edge guy and this guy together, they would be the same fella. They're quite a different brand of killer.
Of killers.
Yeah.
There are different kind of killers, so.
Yeah.
You said that you tried to find out in yourself something about the character. In this kind of character, what did you find out in your nature that is similar inside of you? Mm-hmm. Do you have this kind of evil? Or
Yeah. I share some of his possessive, his being possessed by certain things. I get very single-minded when I work, and sometimes I'll pay attention to small details rather than the whole, and I'll lose the big picture. And I think Barney does that to a large degree. And as far as evil, I think that the basis of evil is really selfishness. And I'm as selfish as the next guy. There's the things that you try to not express in life, because if you live for a certain amount of years, you find out that doesn't really work. The selfishness, that you're really not gonna. And evil, finally, is very kind of a sad thing for the person who's evil, because I think what we all want is to be loved. And when you're evil, that's the most unlovable thing going, when you're so self-absorbed. So it's kind of a very sad thing. But I think everybody has bits of evil in them.
In this character, for instance, you said that you saw him as a heavy guy.
Mm-hmm.
And did you add 20 pounds?
Yeah, 20, 25 pounds.
My God, aren't you afraid of lose your shape or forever? I mean.
Yeah, I should stop doing that just for health reasons, because I go up and down so much, and it's not a good idea. Usually, I'm usually when I figure out I'm going to play this guy fat, I say, oh, now I can eat all my Haagen-Dazs and my.
This is the good part.
Yeah.
And what about the bad part?
Well, then
when you look at yourself in a mirror after.
It's how you feel too. You don't feel good when you're like that,
Are you vain?
No, not really vain. I suppose I'm as vain as the next person, but. As far as being in the movies and not looking, attractive, I enjoy, looking all different kinds of ways that way.
But don't you care of being fat? You say, oh my God, I'm not.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
That was wonderful. What
but more than
happened
the
to
look, it's the feel. I mean, when you get in shape, you feel so much better.
What makes an actor with your charisma and your skills run away from the romantic leading parts?
I don't really run away. I've got some, there's a film that I just finished with Peter Weir called Fearless, and that's quite romantic.
But the press says that you are on the verge of being a superstar, but you don't want it. Is it true?
I'm not sure if it's true or not. I don't crave it. There's a certain downside to that kind of fame, being that famous and not being able to walk out in the street and that kind of thing.
I don't know. I feel you are in the mainstream, but you keep something of an outsider. Is the way you feel?
An outsider? How do you mean?
Something in your characters, in your choices, you have a drop of an outsider. You're not. Do you agree?
Yeah, I haven't developed a real film persona. One guy that I use and I keep appearing as that one guy, but in different stories. I haven't done it that way. I played different characters.
You prefer?
So, yeah.
Do you think this is your choice also?
Yeah, I think to a certain degree, yeah. And also, by doing the different roles, those are the kind of roles that start coming across your desk,
Or maybe, do you think this can be the way to protect yourself from the pressure of the business?
Yeah, that to a certain degree, but mainly it's just because to keep my own interest up. To play the same kind of guy over and over, that would kind of get boring. But I enjoy, playing the romantic leading man. I mean, I've done that in the past, and hopefully I'll do more of that.
When you choose a character, are you worried? Are you concerned about the commercial success of a movie?
Not too much, no. That's kind of like that's like the happy byproduct, hopefully, But my pleasure comes in from the doing of the film.
You see more the artistic side.
That's when I get, yeah, that's where I look for my enjoyment. And then usually when the film comes out, I'll be making another film, and then it's kind of like having a friend's horse in the horse races or something. You're kind of rooting for your horse. Come on, let's see what he does, you know, kind of thing.
Aren't you afraid of a flop?
No, no. I mean, it's nice to have people see your movies. A flop means that, you know, it won't be you won't be seen by as many people, and it's nice to have your movie. I'd like to have it like maybe just in one theater so it can last a long time, even if it isn't not selling a bunch of tickets.
But it doesn't affect your career.
I hope not. I mean, I've been pretty pleased with the way my career's going, and I'll keep on doing it this way.
You don't seem to have any anxiety about your career. Do you have any?
Anxiety? Yeah, I have a lot of anxiety. And I don't know about a career anxiety. It's more like I don't know. Should I kind of tell kind of a long story to kind of describe it? Well, a couple of years, and I finally made a painting of it. And what it is a picture of me rowing down a very wide river, down a canyon with big steep sides. And in the water there are these huge whirlpools, you know, about twice the size of this room. And at the base of each whirlpool is perhaps a jewel or something kind of beautiful in there. And I'm in this little rowboat, and I'm rowing down, and I'll say, oh, look, I wonder what's in that one over there. And I'll look, and I'll go, oh, God, oh, I'm stuck, oh, no. And then I'll get like this, and that's the picture of me rowing out of one of these whirlpools.
Trying not to.
And trying not to get sucked into it. And the title of the painting is Jeff Makes a Decision.
Oh.
And so that's how I spend most of my energy trying not to do things. And when the pull of that particular thing is strong enough, that's what I turn out doing. So I spend a lot of time fighting it.
Fighting against yourself.
Not wanting to do it because it's exhausting. You know, I mean, it's a you know, acting it's a wonderful thing, but it's something it's hard to describe unless you do it. Well, you know, you're an actress. You know what it, you know, to put yourself through those kind of emotions for as long, you know, for
give your soul to those.
Yeah. And there's you know, it's kind of a but if it's strong enough, if the character or the situation pulls me strong enough, that's what I end up doing.
So this is your internal struggle.
Yeah, I would like to do a lot less. I'm basically a lazy person, you know.
Your goal is to be loved?
My goal is to be loved?
Yeah.
Well, probably my goal is to love. I don't know about to be loved. It's probably, maybe they're both the same. I don't know.
What is better? Which one
to be loved or to love? I would say to love would probably be better. I don't know. They're probably kind of both the same thing. But I know, you know, having loved, it depends on what you call love. I mean, I've had, you know, that obsessive kind of love, you know, in high school and stuff. That's terrible. You've been there. Maybe you haven't. I don't know. Maybe you've been
the
object.
With love?
Huh?
Of course I do.
But isn't that terrible?
Did,
it's painful, isn't it? Ooh,
yeah.
I don't like that.
And
the other, you know, I mean, there, you know, I guess love can be.
You don't like? Why don't you like it?
What do I like? What?
The
being obsessed
love.
by love. Because it's usually all about the wrong stuff. You know, it's like, you know, wanting to have that thing that you can't have, you know, and it's really not about that person at all, but it's about, you know, inside that you have to, you know,
prove yourself.
Yeah, prove it to yourself or something, God knows what. Fortunately, I've been married for 16 years, so I don't have to worry about that stuff.
Jeff, you seem to be very in control of your life, are you?
Not really, no. No more than anybody else, I wouldn't imagine.
But you try to be.
I'm like, it's like that, you know, it's like the guy in the river. That about sums it up. You know?
That's the image.
That's the image that I get. I mean, I'm in control. That I probably got in the boat and I'm rowing down the stream, and you know, I've got the oars in my hands, but there's, you know, big things that are happening that are out of my control.
Are you more emotional person or rational person?
I think I have both of those characteristics in me. I can be very emotional and very rational.
What is the strongest position?
It depends on the moment.
But can you control this?
At times, and sometimes I can't, yeah. Sometimes the emotional pop out.
What makes you lose control?
I guess a certain kind of a frustration of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel losing control of your emotions?
Yeah, occasionally. Yeah, it's tricky when you're working sometimes, you know, as an actor, that's the sort of the clay that you work with, your emotions, and sometimes some of those will leak out in ways that you wish it wouldn't, because it can destroy the work environment that you're in, and sometimes you might take it out on a director or a producer or somebody there, and it's all about the work, but they don't, you know, they don't really know what's going on with you, and they might take it personally or so forth.
Yeah, you said that you were very manipulative with the director, usually. Do you plan to direct?
I don't know if I think it might be in the cards. I think I'd like to. I don't know. I'm waiting for something that'll come along that'll, you know, one of those whirlpools.
You want to do it?
One of those whirlpools, yeah.
Well, so you're going to do it?
Yeah, as far as being manipulative to a director, it's funny. I mean, the movies it's all about manipulation in a sense, and I want the director to manipulate me, and by manipulating him, I'm not sure. Let me kind of clarify that. What I meant is I want to direct the director on how he can on how he can direct me. In other words, I want to make myself really available to him. Mm-hmm. So I will tell him all about myself and tell him, you know, what I like, what I don't like. Not that he doesn't do what I don't like, but to let him know that if he wants to do something that I don't like, mm-hmm. that this is what it is.
Yeah.
You give him access to yourself. You know.
What do you do when you feel depressed?
I usually go to my wife and have her talk to me. And
mm-hmm. Talk pillow.
Yeah, it's a little pillow talk. You know, well, that's it. You know, she usually straightens me out pretty good, or go out be alone for a while.
This is the way you get out of it.
Yeah. Play, you know, paint or play music.
Playing, painting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Trying to express yourself.
Take walks, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Play with the kids. Get out of yourself, you know. Don't be so self-involved.
And you put yourself together.
Yeah,
easily?
Slowly but surely. It depends. Yeah, usually. Lately it's been pretty good. I've been pretty good. I haven't given myself too much trouble.
You worked with Francis Coppola in Tucker. And what is it like to work with him?
He's terrific. He's got a lot of child in him and loves to play, especially at the beginning of the process where he did something great with these little Super 8 cameras. He had the operators that were really going to shoot the film there in the rehearsal hall for the last week of rehearsal. And he told us that this week we were going to shoot the entire film on video, and I want the actors to learn their lines as best they can, and the costumers, you get all the costumes and the sets, everything as best as we can. It'll be like, you ever see our gang comedy, you know, the Little Rascals, you know, it was kind of like, come on, let's make a movie, here are the curtains, and
Yeah.
And we did it like that, and it was like, you know, we got in the car scenes, and we go, and he would say, now when you stop, I want everybody to go like that, you know, and it was like it was fun. And he, during that time, he discovered all kinds of camera angles and so forth. And at the end of that week, what we didn't know that he had been doing was that to and from work, he would sit in his car, in the backseat of his car, and he would edit these videotapes. So at the end of that week, he gave everybody the finished film. He said, "Here is the film we've made." And now we're just kind of honing it and making it a little better. But this is basically it. And that was a great thing to have, because you know you shoot out of sequence often in a film, and you could go back and see where you were, or what it was, you know, what the performance was like when you knew it didn't count, you know, those kind of things.
You were a painter and you were a musician as well. Do you want to do this professionally?
You mean get paid for it?
Yeah, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I've had shows, and I may have a show in a few months in Santa Monica here of some of my photographs. I don't know, the money will probably go to charity or something, but I like showing the work and keep doing that.
Because you said, you talked about frustration. Do you feel as a musician, a frustrated musician?
Oh, I gave up that battle a long time ago. I don't feel it anymore. Now it's sort of just for my own pleasure. And sometimes I get frustrated with myself for not, you know, keeping it up. But, you know, finally, you only got so much time. And
because you played a musician in the Fabulous Baker Boys, and it was a wonderful work. But you said that you would like to play a rock star. What kind of rock star?
I didn't have really any style in mind. I probably said that when I had my long hair, when you saw me, and I had, you know, it's always a shame. I said, I got this stuff now. I know the next part I'm gonna have to cut it. You know, why can't I get that rock star script? You know, I'm all set to go. It would be fun to play.
You saw the Oliver Stone's movie, The Doors, and you didn't like it. Upsets you. Why?
Yeah, I felt bad about that quote. I can't remember. I think it happened. I don't know how it came about, but it was kind of got in bold letters and stuff, and it made me feel bad because I know how much hard work goes into a film. You know, and to have somebody just say, "Oh, that's nothing," that upset me. You know, that it's, you know, being a movie maker, you know, myself, I know how much hard work goes into it, but it got me because. The Doors, they were like, you know, a rock group that I was familiar with, and I thought it could have been done in a little different way, you know, things that you're close to and you feel personal about. You have your own personal kind of image. It's almost like if I read the book and then the movie doesn't match that.
Your fantasies were different.
But I thought, you know, all the actors, I can't think of the actor's name who played Jim Morrison, but I thought he was, you know, very good and looked very much like him and sang like him and all that. But it just didn't match my pictures of how it should have come out.
Your picture would be more what?
If I was directing and producing, I would have done a very low-tech version. It would have been an independent film made for, you know, $1 million.
I see. This is The Outsider, you see? That I was telling you. What do you think makes a relationship last?
Probably forgiveness has got to be in there somewhere.
Why?
Well, you know, just like in the movies, you know, people don't fit your pictures, you know, like maybe like that Oliver Stone movie didn't fit my pictures of and people don't fit your pictures of what you think they should be and all this and sometimes as we are human, we fall short of people's expectations and our own expectations.
And sometimes.
And there's got to be a lot of forgiveness poured on. This is like kind of like grease that makes the whole thing flow. Not only forgiveness from the other person to you, but forgiving yourself for being who you have to be, who you are, you know. And when somebody forgives you, it kind of kindles love, I find.
And what are your expectations? What do you consider the best qualities in a woman?
Let me see. Best qualities in a woman. I mean, there's, it's like I don't. There's not too much difference. I mean, besides all the physical and the sexual attraction, it's the same as as a man. I would think somebody who you.
What do you look for in a woman? I mean,
it's kind of a mystery to me. I mean, I fell in love with my wife.
What attracts you to a woman?
Gosh, I don't know. It probably has something to do with mom. Back to mother and all that kind of stuff. And what is it? I remember my wife. I fell in love with her right. It was a first sight thing. Fell in love with her right away. I got a picture that a makeup man took and mailed to me a couple of years ago of me asking my wife out for our first date, and her turning me down. And you can look on my face, I'm a goner.
Boy.
But I don't know what it is specifically. I mean, I guess initially it's the physical thing, beauty. Just what beauty is, it's different for everybody.
Cool.
But as far as other qualities, it's a good sense of humor, all those kind of things.
Talking about beauty, you've worked with such a beautiful women like Michelle Pfeiffer and Kim Basinger, Jane Fonda. What is the sexiest one?
What is the sexiest one? My wife.
Oh,
I got that one right, honey, didn't I?
Don't they fall in love with you? Tell the truth. Because in Brazil, your wife is not going to see the show.
It's a very tricky and kind of a sad thing, because so much of acting is you fooling yourself, and you want to fool yourself pretty successfully, and so much about movies and stuff is about love and all those emotions, and you do fire those up in yourself. And one of the things I've discovered is how accessible and really how simple falling in love is. It's not really that big a deal. And you can do it pretty, not effortlessly, but when two people do it on purpose, and if you get, two actors doing that on purpose, it's quite an easy emotion to access if you're both really willing and up for it. But then you mustn't consummate, you mustn't make love, because that changes the whole chemistry of everything. So that's kind of where I draw the line and try to let all these other emotions come into play.
And keep the sex out.
And keep the sex out. And that allows me to have my marriage work, have that support system, allow me to go off and do these things.
I see. So this is the way that you deal with a possible attraction to a partner in a movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's interesting. And you said that Kim Basinger, for instance, she doesn't like the process, the rehearsal, and she doesn't enjoy this process. But you do. How was it?
On that film, it was pretty much, our relation was pretty much only on screen. We didn't hang out too much or talk off the set too much. And I thought it worked pretty well. I thought that, looking at it, you didn't seem like, these people had no connection. It worked all right, but that's the way she chooses to work.
Different from yours, way, your way.
Not a lot of that, not only actresses, but actors, men do that where they feel they don't really want to mix.
I know, Jeff, that you are much more than that, but the press says also that you are a hunk. Do you mind of being one?
I guess it's, you know, that's a compliment of sorts, I suppose.
Are you?
I'm kind of a chunk right now. I got a little Barney kind of left on me here.
But this is not your goal in life, I guess.
No.
What else do you dream of doing?
Just getting down the river, you know, and probably hitting a couple of those whirlpools on the way down. That's about it.
That's okay. So, good river.
That's right. Have a good
nice
river trip. Yeah. Not too many waterfalls. That's it.
Wonderful.
All right.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.